How's it going, everyone? Happy Sunday. Welcome to a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12 with your one and only Miguel Mike Medina. The Four Nations Face-Off Championship exceeded our expectations. Canada won 3-2 in overtime. Thank God it was a lopsided victory. I wish Team USA could have won, but Canada, fair and square, they won this game. They would have not won this game without Jordan Bennington. He made 31 saves out of 33 shots. He was just absolutely sensational. Overtime, he was big time. Brady Tkachuk, Austin Matthews had plenty of chances to win the game, but Jordan Bennington, he was just on fire. Connor McDavid, arguably the best player in the game, my favorite hockey player in the game. He scored the game-winning goal in overtime for Canada. Sidney Crosby had a sensational tournament. It wasn't for sure that he was going to play because of durability issues, but he played, and you could say that he passed the baton to Connor McDavid for Team Canada. Nathan MacKinnon was named tournament MVP. Now, if you saw that presentation, the trophy presentation, it was great, but the part that gave me goosebumps was when they all hugged each other, looking at the Canada flag and singing the national anthem. Now, I don't agree that how Canadian fans booed the United States national anthem in their first meeting last Saturday. I didn't agree with that. I thought that was classless. I am like we got to keep politics out of sports. It ruins everything. So that was very classless of the Canadian fans to boo the national anthem. So, but me as a fellow American, it was a joy. It was a beautiful moment to see Team Canada sing the national anthem while they were hugging each other. That was a beautiful moment. I don't care who you root for. I don't care where you're living in. Those are things you got to appreciate, you got to admire, and you have to respect. And speaking of Canada fans, Canadians in general, supposedly they're upset at Wayne Gretzky or disappointed in him. Wayne Gretzky, he's a fellow Canadian. He was named the honorary captain for Team Canada. Many people are upset with him or disappointed with him because they feel that he's silent. He's not saying much about this whole USA Canada tariff situation. I think him and Donald Trump they get along well. They've been communicating, but they don't like the fact that he's being silent, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, we can't always comment on things that like it's not necessary to comment on things that are political. But Wayne Gretzky, we don't, in many people's eyes, especially in Canada, feel that he should talk, he should say something, but we don't know all the details. So, and I just say, let the man live, let the man breathe. If he doesn't want to chime in on something, let him be. If he does, then okay, fine. But we live in this world where you have to speak on everything, where you have to support everything. Not everything is for everyone. I repeat again, not everything is for everyone. So, Wayne Gretzky, he's the GOAT. And speaking of Wayne Gretzky, Alex Ovechkin, Washington Capitals Alex Ovechkin, I believe he's 16, 17 goals away from breaking his record. So, and the Washington Capitals have been an amazing story this year. So let's see, let's see what happens. He does have a shot of breaking Wayne Gretzky's record this season. It will be even much more interesting if he finishes on a tie this season because that will be that the whole summer they will build it up for next season when because I believe the Washington Capitals they start their regular season against the Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby versus Alex Ovechkin, that's a classic rivalry right there. So it would be the perfect script, but knowing Alex, but I think the type of player that Alex Ovechkin is, I think he's gonna want to break that record this season. Not wait for next season. I And I can't forget Connor McDavid since he won in overtime for Team Canada. I feel that this could be one of those moments where you could have a Shohei Ohtani moment in the sense that Shohei Ohtani, he led Team Japan to win the World Baseball Classic in 2023, and then he went on. That motivated him to play for the Dodgers and win a World Series with the Dodgers, which he did that this past season. I feel like Connor McDavid, he came so close last year, one win away from winning the Stanley Cup. He won this tournament for Team Canada. It feels good because he's representing his country, but he's not fully satisfied because he wants the bigger trophy, which is the Stanley Cup. So I feel that him winning for Team Canada will motivate him and inspire him to go all the way with Edmonton this season. As for Team Canada, they won their four in their last five championship games against Team USA. But Team USA, they continue to get better. And I feel that at some point they will get revenge against Canada. Canada is Canada. They always produce great players. But Team USA, I feel like they're going to come with a vengeance at some point to get revenge on Team Canada. So, and it sucks that Matthew Tkachuk couldn't play, or I should say, he couldn't play the entire game. He was out in the third period. He was hurt. James McAvoy, he didn't play in this game. So there were injuries on both sides, but regardless, the beauty about hockey is that these players, they play hurt. They're all about passion. They're all about physicality. So, and that's something that the NBA and other sports need to take a lesson. Bring a big notepad and take a lesson because what we witnessed in these four nations, especially this championship game was arguably the biggest hockey game since the 1980 gold medal game between Team USA and the Soviets. So, and that crowd was just electric in that championship game. So the NBA, they're in big trouble, and so are these other sports. I mean, you can't feminize the sport. I feel NBA needs to go back into stop blowing the whistle every 5 seconds. Let players, I don't condone to violence, but you gotta let players, like get physical, like play, like fight a little, but nothing over the top. But I guess certain situations like the Malice at the Palace that changed the NBA forever. I just hope that we go back into making the sport great again because hockey right now is doing pound, pound, pound to the NBA and other sports. I mean, they brought in massive ratings. I don't have the numbers with me right now, but the ratings were through the roof for this USA Canada championship game. MLB is saying bye bye, bye bye to ESPN. MLB and ESPN, they were in a partnership since 1990, but after 2025, it's all over. After 35 years, it'll be all over. Why why is MLB moving on from ESPN? Could be a variety of different reasons. But to start, ratings, obviously. In my opinion, when they took off baseball tonight, I mean, there's just so many things, and I wasn't surprised, to be honest with you. I was surprised when I learned that MLB is moving on from ESPN. It's just not fun anymore. Sunday night baseball coverage, production is not the same anymore. Baseball at ESPN was great when you had guys like John Miller, um, Joe Morgan, the duo, Chris Berman, calling the home run derby. At one point, there was Wednesday night baseball and Sunday night baseball, and then it became Sunday night baseball. The coverage of the postseason was better. There was just so many things that ESPN was doing great when it was MLB on ESPN. It was just when it was the 90s and the 2000s for the most part, it was just glorious. But in the 2010s and even this decade, has just been abysmal. So it is not the same old baseball on ESPN that I once grew up and fell in love with. It's just not the same anymore. The broadcast is not the same. I don't like the constant interviews that's happening in games. I personally don't like the whole players getting mic'd up talking to the broadcaster while they're playing. I don't like that. So I'm not surprised, and I feel like it's time that they should move on. Where can MLB go from here? Could Apple TV in the future um, gain the full rights to Major League games? I know that they're doing Friday Night Baseball, but can they go deeper than that? Can Netflix or Amazon chime in? I highly doubt it, but those are just things I'm throwing out there. I feel that the future of baseball, now that it's moving away from ESPN, I think that Apple TV, Fox is Fox. Fox, MLB on Fox will be there for quite a while, and it's been there since 1996. I feel that in terms of streaming service, I feel that Apple TV, Roku, and I won't rule out NBC/Peacock, even though they were doing the Sunday leadoff, which they will premiere games at 11 a.m. I didn't think it was such a great idea, but it felt good in a way because when I started watching baseball, I got to see a little bit of MLB on NBC in '99 and mostly 2000. So I won't rule out NBC/Peacock to have um, games being streamed in baseball in the future. But if I have to pick one on the list right now that could, take advantage of MLB, I would say Apple TV Plus in terms of streaming service. Michigan State versus Michigan, the rival. This was a game that a lot of college basketball fans were looking forward to watch on Friday night. This is one of those games where this team was dominating and this team made a run and this team came back again. So Michigan State, they start off great, but then at the end of the first half and even the beginning of the second half, Michigan Wolverines had the momentum, but then Michigan State rallied and came back and won this game and dominated the second half. They won this game 75-62. Trey Holloway, he performed sensational. Both teams are doing great this year, but those Michigan State Spartans, they're on another level. And even in college baseball, they got off to a hot start 4-0. Although I don't know if they won. I don't know if they won yesterday's game. I need to check the highlights. But the bottom line is Michigan State sports athletics. They're having a terrific season so far in baseball and in college basketball. So I wish this game would have been more tighter and not lopsided, but they did made it exciting, especially in the second half. But Michigan State just absolutely did everything to come away to a victory. They were shooting lights out from the 3-point range. They neutralized Michigan on defense. So, but the Spartans, they came away with a victory and it was well earned. But anytime you have a rivalry game like this one, is must see TV. And that concludes this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Check out Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's today. Continue to watch golf, round 4 of the Mexico Open. What else is taking place today? Oh, yes. Shout out to my North Carolina Tar Heels. They won 3 in a row. They're getting hot at the right time. Their offense is clicking. So salute to North Carolina Tar Heels. Hopefully they make it 4 in a row if they defeat the Florida State Seminoles on Monday. But yeah, enjoy sports in general today, guys. Take care. Have a blissful Sunday. And I'll see you guys next week for a new episode of Sports News Flash at 12.